Beenie Man and Nadine Sutherland. And also joining us on this session, we have the writer John Missouri from United Kingdom. As many of you know, John is the author of acclaimed books on Bob Marley and the Wailers and Peter Tosh. He's a long-standing writer for magazines such as Echoes, and also the great Rhythm magazine, which remains Europe's premier publication devoted to reggae and Jamaican culture. Now, most of you know that normally we would have the joint editors of Rhythm magazine right here with us. That's Ellen Cullings and Pete Lilly. They were unable to make it to ROTOTOM SUNSPLASH this year for some personal reasons. But we express our support to them, and our love goes out to them, and continued support for the magazine itself. Now, to begin this special session of the Reggae University, without wishing to oversimplify, one could say that both of these artists have a lot in common. Many of you probably think of them as dancehall pioneers, pioneering dancehall figures who came to prominence in the 1990s. Yet both of their careers encompasses so much more than just that. And thinking about seniority and you know, the rankings that come, the privilege that comes with age, I'd like to begin by putting a bit of the first question to Nadine Sutherland, just to ask if you can enlighten the good people here at ROTOTOM SUNSPLASH Reggae University. Tell us a little bit about how did you first become involved in music, and how did you come to make your first recording?
All right. Hi, everyone. It's such a pleasure being here. It's my first time at ROTOTOM, so if I seem a little bit overly excited, I am. Let's let me put that. Okay, so a lot of people of a specific generation associate me with the 90s, which I'm fine. But we'll have to give homage to what happened before. What happened before is that I know it's a Beenie Man didn't enter the competition, but him never win. TC Talent competition then was like the premier competition. I am the first winner, a very, very little girl. I was 11. Because of that, there were some scouts from Tough Gang Records who saw me, and when them talk behind my back, no, them can't talk in front of my face. They said that it was a toss-up between me and somebody called Paul Blake. And the attorney now, this lady called Diane Jobson, said, "I want a little girl." Thank God that she intervened, because that took me to do, and I'm a little bit emotional now, but it was Bob who started me. He had his studio, Tough Gun Records, and he wanted to showcase young talents who, he said from her mouth, that he went through so much when he was started. Everybody know Bob's story, or them T-film and all of that. He wanted us that were coming up not to have had the experience that he had. So he, Tough Gun Records. So my first little tune, Starvation on the Land, which I mean, like getting older, I'm not lie to you, but go over the memory over and over, because I want to keep it etched in my mind. So I was on this little stool, and Bob came in because he engineered everything behind my back. You know, you're a little girl, you're not really even privy of what was happening. And there he was, him coming in, and he gave it to Sangy Davis. Okay, so he was the overseer, and he gave the song to do to Sangy Davis. But when we were doing it, he came into the studio, and I remember he came in, and I tell you, I say I etched it in my mind, I really etched it in my mind. I was in my little yellow school uniform, standing up, and when the first time I saw him was when he came in. I was like, "Put her up on the stool and she'll stand up, you know." And I sat down on the stool, and then he went to the bass player and he said, "No, ma'am, I want you to play the bass, so tum 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 tum," and he actually went like this. Yeah, I remember tum 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 tum. So that was a bit, and him look at the guitarist and go, kinda. So if you hear my song Starvation in Line, you guys can Google it. There's no video because back in the days, videos weren't done. You will see and hear Bob Marley's influence.
I tell you what, let's just take a little listen to track 1.
Sleeping children in the park, yeah. Got nowhere to go in the wee hours after dark. Next day, see them at the bus stop, making 10 cents. Not going to school, that makes no sense. Fighting for the rights, no pretending even cleaning our windows.
All right, you surprised me with that one.
Well, we may have a few other surprises in store for both of you here, but so Beenie, is it that you were actually on the same Tasty Talent competition?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. Blessings. Yeah, I was on not the same competition with Nadine. Yeah, not the same here. Nadine kind of inspired if enter. When Juna Tucker enter, that was the time I decided that I can actually run in and try to get this side. So I entered the wrong year with Yellow Man, and he came there in a yellow suit and a yellow shoes and sing a song with him. She have me yellow, baby. I couldn't beat that, you know? Yeah. But I went on to be a child star. I did my first single when I was 8. It's called Too Fancy. It was produced by William Collin, Danny Dreadlocks. Yeah. And I did my first album at age 10. So I went on to be one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so before you go any further, my selector.
Well, you have my tune.
This one is called Too Fancy, originated by I Beenie.
All right. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we kind of started out the same year, Nadine. Yeah. But both of us as child star. Yeah. Blessings. And we enter the same competition. Oh, yes, I go. So the music in Jamaica is coming from there, where people clash against each other, and the best one turn out the victor. And yeah, and this is how the music have been coming through Jamaica from a long time, even up to today date. We just not, you know, as I go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Nadine Sutherland, so from what I understand, you were affiliated with Tough Gong for maybe about 4 years, and that culminated in the release of an album.
Yeah, my first album, Until, I was allowed, you know, them that for keep my ital is vital, you know? So, like the early stage, it was, you know, a lot of conscious music, and then I was allowed to do my first love song when I was 14. I think I was 15. They decided then that she was old enough, so it was Until.
Okay.
And then they released the album, Nadine Until, yes.
Come in, selector, track 4.
Wow, selector, you know, well researched.
happy completely.
Yeah. Now, Beenie Man, you also had a debut album released about the same time, I think a year earlier, in fact.
Nadine, them time there, me I lost her for you, me I tell you the honest truth. Yeah, them time you grew up now and you get bigger now. Yeah. I used to, you understand? Nadine was our dream girl, you want to get, you know, because we have her as uptown top on our risk, we come from the ghetto. And what was not true, but she there on Tough Gang, which is the bigger production. Our production is some small production. We have to work with Bunny Striker, lead them and something. So I did this album. It's called the 10-Year-Old DJ Wonder, the Invincible Beenie Man, and yeah.
So give us a taste of track 2 from the Beenie Man selection.
All right.
And this is coming in sound system style, you could say.
So a song back of it? Which one you have?
Yes, indeed.
All right. All right. Hear the bad DJ
Bit more volume, please.
Nah, you're not.
Mr. Engineer, can you boost the music volume a little bit, please?
All right. 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 Man, learn. Yeah, man. And those are the nice times, because these are the time when your mother is not agreeing with what you're doing, because you don't have a company behind you, and them don't want, your mother don't want to lose you. So at this time, I take a people picnic and them something. They say, they must say, be careful or you go out there and all these things. But I want to do music, you know? And then my mother fear, I try to stop me from the music. So I run away, you know?
Right.
Not too far still, I went next door. Yeah, because my grandfather and my uncle is into music. And them live side of my mother's yard. So I decided to make a big runway, you know? And go next door. So she couldn't come over there for me. Because them man I deal with music and them I deal with progress in music.
Right.
See? And I want to learn more about music. So, yeah, that's where I started my thing, you know. Yeah.
And Nadine Sutherland, did you also face opposition from your parents when you decided to pursue a musical career?
Mike is there? My parents were very, very supportive. I was a kid that was always singing and dancing. The only one dissent that I had was my grandmother. When I used to wind up myself, my grandmother never liked it at all. I think when the first time I bust a bad wine, she must have said, Lord have mercy, what may I do with this little girl? So she always was just like wondering if I was going to turn the other way, because I guess promiscuity is associated with the bad wine that mommy used to give. But she wasn't seeing also that I could do all the ballet moves, that I was just a naturally gifted dancer. But my mother and my father, I was always singing for them, carry me go church, go sing at church, in the people, them lovely sermon. Them go, yes, it's a 4-year-old, she can't sing, and then push me up and let me sing. So it was just like, and I was supported through. I remember the first time I did Tasty Talent Contest, she bought me like a blue dress and my little ballet. My parents really like supported me big times in the early days.
I guess my mother never want to lose me. But she actually never did still, because me heal her at daytime when me over me yard. What go on, mama? She said, you need to come to church, but go to church and play the drum is different from going to church and singing in the church and being a part of the church. I wasn't a part of the church.
Of course.
Yeah. My music is my church. Yes.
Of course, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Respect.
Come in, John Missouri.
Can I just ask you a question about that? Is it true that you were in a dance one night as a child and your mother turned up and pulled you out?
Yeah, she tried. She tried. Yeah, she tried. The dance was in front of my house. So I waited till she fall asleep, then I got through the window And she wake up, me don't know what happened, but she hear my voice on the microphone and decides that she gonna come for me in the dance where fence are kicked down and people are ball forward. It wasn't gonna happen, you know. So the people said, Lego the youth. I want them to support the youth and make the youth the music, the youth bad. Where you gonna beat the youth to sing music? Lego the youth. So, you know, for days my mother not talk to me. See, she cook it in and give me everything, but she still not talk to me. Because, you know, she feel embarrassed. But I say, go, it's music. I was matching up the dance, so you try to come disturb the people, them niceness. But yeah, that's the first time she ever tried that.
Okay.
And is it also true that Yellow Man paid you not to come?
Yes, yes. Oh, that is one time. I used to DJ on the same sound system with Yellow Man. It's used to call Aces Sound. So every time I turn up, I get an extra $100, you know? Not the DJ. I didn't know why, you know? To realize that the people them want to hear me more. So when Yellow Man becomes Yellow Man now, him never have to do that anymore, you know? But one time when I dance early, me used to get a little extra money for go and go enjoy yourself, man. Yeah, so we get to realize that, you know, at the time, when the people them want to hear me, I couldn't DJ because the forward used to have to come my way, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, you know these things. Oh, use John Missouri, no? Sorry. Is that man know the whole history of dancehall? Sorry, yes, sir. I shouldn't ask that question. Yeah.
Oh, Beenie man. Another question about those days. Your very, very first memory and recollection about singing in dancehall, and if you were the only child there, or if there were other.
No, I wasn't that. Yeah, I wouldn't say I was the only child there because, all right, at the time you have artists like Yamabolo, you have artists like White Mice, but yeah, I was before them still. But in my time, yeah, Papa San, he was like 16, never that older than I am still. You have artists like Daddy Life, you have artists like Tenasa, yeah, they're all kids, really. So is one time the big man was like, what do you call it? Oh, Michigan and Smiley was you too. You'd have Sugar Mine at them when there was big man. You have like inner dancehall music. Sugar Mine used to have his own sound system called Youth Man Promotion. So all of us used to be around there. That's where the dancehall really started. You see it? Then you have Volcano Sound with John Jolance, you have Ika Mouse and all of them man there. So yeah, it's one time, I don't know what to say, Aaron, but yeah, the platform was different. So it wasn't me was the only little youth there. There was a lot of us. But I am the one that decides, you know, I'm not give up, regardless of which year, which genre, you know, adapt and adjust to the music, what's going on now. So, yeah.
Okay.
But I wasn't the only one there.
And even as a small child,
yeah.
did you go round the island playing on sound system?
Yeah, well, roughly that's what you do, you know. As a DJ and you work on a sound system, that's what you do. You go all across the island. And then one time, it's not about the album that release, it's about making the cassette of the sound system that you sing on. So once you on that 90 minutes cassette, you becomes a star because people is actually listening to that cassette. Right. And then them have you on vinyl, which you have an album, and them know that you DJ on this sound. So when the sound system used to go to foreign, like we used to leave Jamaica and go to England and leave Jamaica and go to Canada. If you're not on the cassette, you're not on the posters. So if you're not making the cassette, that means you're not going anywhere. So this is how dancehall artists start. We didn't start like Nadine. We didn't have Bob Marley behind us and doing all this great thing. We'd have to go in the dancehall music to make our own fame.
Okay, so
Wicked.
Yes.
Getting back to the actual vinyl, since you just mentioned vinyl and the progression, because in those days, of course, music primary means of release was vinyl.
Yeah.
So late 80s, we have quite a transformation in the music and in each of your careers. So my selector, let's take a little listen to track 5 from the Nadine Sutherland folder there, and this is when you link up with Gussie.
It's the heart
Aye.
Give me back my keys.
Superstar,
Go
no?
push some other door. You're not welcome anymore. I gave myself to you so completely. Your every wish was my desire. You ask so much, but give so little in return. Seems you got too many irons in the fire. Mr. Hard to please, give me back my keys. Go push some other door. You're not welcome anymore.
So, yeah. So Nadine, was it difficult for you to make this transition to this style of music?
Not at all. You see the thing about it that I don't understand. Like people think that there's this big distinct difference between dancehall and reggae. It's our culture. You grow up hearing them. You grow up dancing to both of them. It's just like there wasn't any distinction in my head. I was singing roots, but I was a growing young girl listening to dancehall. Reggae was dancehall back in the day, so it's organic, it's cultural. By the time, the only thing is that by this time, I was whining with authority because my grandmother transitioned. So that time, the real, you know, that jiggle up my body more now, you know. So
Yeah, go ahead.
You're known for writing your own songs.
Yes.
But at Gussie, he tended to have songwriters. So
Right.
how did that fit in with you?
after a while it fit in. When I remember after the song I'm gonna write, sometimes people remind me, because I've written, did I write Mr. Harter, please? I think it's me, right? Mr. Harter, please, Steelia and Clevey. I thought I wrote that. When I started showing potential as a songwriter, a lot of people speak about the men in the music industry, but in Jamaica. But you know what? I have to big them up, because irrespective that I don't know what, they gave me freedom to an extent. But I was writing my tune from so I have to big them up, and I want to say this because I know there are a lot of times that people like to speak to the opposite, that how hard it is for female vocalists. Not that I'm negating that fact, but I just want to use this platform and elevate them as a big up, because they allowed me some leeways as a very young woman, so.
Okay. Now, Nadine, you just said that in those days, reggae and dancehall were one. So along those lines, my selector, I want you to reach into the Beenie Man folder and give us a bit of track 5, which dates from 1989, if I'm not mistaken.
It's like you're moving in the wrong line. Every day I'm gonna get to your life, they're on borderline. Being him alongside Tristan Palmer, alongside Dennis Brown, we are no clown. Watch.
Every day is a gunshot,
I don't want to.
and another one get shot.
I don't like that.
Every year is the same thing.
God knows.
Tired of the killing and the shooting.
Yeah.
Another victim of the gun war, slain in the street, man, it's crucial. When are we gonna stop the fighting?
Yeah.
Under the suppression of crime act.
Have mercy, look how much gunman come and how much gunman gone. All you a reel up, all you a kick up, all you a move up and a go on. Remember, say after a storm it is a calm. What we tired for here? Retired for here, gunshot all in a ear. Every time we no see another ghetto youth scare. Cool bad man, stop it. Put down the big zigzag and alimatic. Leave the police them alone at time one fi boss it. Here Beenie man up on the mic and chat.
Wicked.
It is. Yeah. Tonight.
So what can you tell us about that particular track, Beenie Man?
No, well, all right. Songs like these just happen,
Exactly.
But I'm just happened to be at the studio at the time when the great Dennis Brown walked in, and the great Tristan Palmer decided, say, well, we're going to make this song together. And them decide that they need a DJ. So I was on the scene. Yeah, at the time, I wasn't the Beenie Man that I am today. Me just always a dancehall artist, so it's never like I was the big superstar, Yeah, so this is 1989. So you must understand when I say I was just there, and I got lucky. And I give thanks for that. I give thanks that I was there. Rastafari.
Okay.
Blessing.
Now, I'm mindful of the time. In a few minutes, we're going to give the audience here a chance to put some questions to our special guest. We got a lot more music to try and zip through if we can. So I want to try and see if my selector can give us a taste of track 6, followed by track 8 from Nadine Sutherland's folder there. 6.
Track 6. All right, here you go. Alright, here you go. Big tune! Select the boy!
Never wanna fall in love, never wanna fall in love with you. I never wanna care so much, never knew I love your touch, but I do, 'cause you're my
And selector, give us some of track 8. Track 8.
emotions.
Track 8.
Yeah, track 8, yeah.
Select a fine
From
track
the same
8.
Nadine Sutherland.
Woman want good love. Now sympathize. Woman want good love every night. Right up. Love a girl. Adi. Step up. Good.
Action,
Got a bag of motor.
sweet
Now we need the girl them broke up.
action,
Got a bag of motor.
sweet.
Now we need the girl them broke up.
You think you are so fine.
Chat no work, yeah, man, watch the time.
Stop playing with my
Woman
mind.
no in a joke when she with want the wine.
You call me on the
I
phone,
know with a talking angel come down.
and now I want you home.
I ain't got a Jackie, girl, me nah use no stone.
Action,
Got a bag of motor. Now we
sweet.
need the girl them broke up.
Dance memory, body memory, something else, you know. I was responsible. I'm a trained dancer, so I got the choreo. I think somebody says the first dancehall video that you see a choreograph. So I'm here, and action comes on, and automatically I start to do this. Like the old school dancehall, you know?
Yeah.
I notice that my legs start to the butterfly.
Yeah.
I don't think people do those dances anymore, but
I saw it gonna do it kick in, you know.
I know it was kicking automatically, right?
Muscle reflex, you know. Yeah. Music lick you feel no pain.
Exactly.
So you go.
I have a question for Nadine.
Sure.
And in those days, you were part of two crucial camps that were the Penthouse One and the Exterminator. And me and John are devotees to Fatis Burrell, for example. And
Right.
I wanted to, would like to know how was to work and record for those two men, like Fatis
Two men.
Burrell and Donovan German.
You know what? And I'm glad I have the opportunity to speak because, you know, Ibaye, Fatis Burrell, that's Yoruba to say, I don't know, some of the pride to say Ibaye when people go on to the ancestral realm. Fatis Burrell, big him up every time, as I said before, as a songwriter. He just met me right. Jermaine, the same thing. And I think they helped to develop my confidence as a performer and as a singer, you know, and I have to big them up. There is I was just doing my stuff, and them just let me do my stuff. You know, like Babyface, when I was doing Babyface for Burrell, a lot of people don't know, but Barris came in and helped me voice it. You know, when I was doing, I was
Right.
so engrossed in my R&B singing, then I was listening to a lot of Whitney and a lot of the R&B singers of that era. But those men, big them up every time
Okay, well,
because
Yeah,
they've given me
look,
some classics.
No, come in, John, and then, come back to me.
Yeah, and Nadine, I was just going to say, we left out Bobby Digital from that.
Bobby
little
Digital
group.
too. We'll have to
Yeah.
big up Bobby Digital. I'm in love. How can I still? No, that's not Bobby Digital, but that's
Rainbow.
I can see the rainbow. I'm getting married to some classic Nadine Sutherland. No, Bobby did just what would it tell me that you love me?
Yes.
I saw my song. May I forget about my song?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so
I have to say here that Fatis told me that one of the most moving sessions he'd ever done in his whole career as a producer was working with Nadine, and they were doing this song, Pair of Wings. And he said everybody in the studio was in tears,
Yeah.
including Nadine.
I was sobbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
May I give you the story? Pair of Wings came after Garnet Sills. Remember the beautiful, incredible talent that we had in Garnet Sills that I guess the angels wanted him to come sing quicker than we were ready to allow him to. And we spiraled into Morning, My Country, because here was this bright star, you know. And I started the song when my brother transitioned and finished it. And I sang it for Garnet. And we were just, I've had some great moments. It was just such an emotional moment for everyone because it was for him. We knew what the story and tell you, man. I never see some big man, you know, Jamaican men don't like to show emotions, but, you know,
Tears
then
trap, man.
we were looking, you know, I was looking at Dean and I'm looking at Fatis and them holding it, you know, they tried.
Yeah,
That was it.
So since we're looking at these breakthrough moments and important musical partnerships that were forged in that era, Beenie Man, we can't consider your career without thinking about Shocking Vibes. So give us a taste of track 7 from the Beenie Man folder right here.
Shocking Vibes.
One of these outstanding moments from Beenie Man's catalog.
Honorable. It's just dancing. God knows. You got to move on the rhythm. You're gonna. I want to dance and be the fine again. I want the street and the lane and round the pen. World dance is the name and the title. The body done the devil line and the cripple and I don't know why black with all love it so. And a limbo roses fine and use them. Brand new dance I worry have a man. I kill all of them roses fine and use them. A whirl a dance we come fit teach them. It's like poop. So the boys stay down the gully stand a pussy shocking vibe jet him a do the tatty. Taking me look better than so lucky. When him a whirl without.
I love my future kids, buddy.
Them
My
time them on a
tunes.
vice pan one track, you know.
I know.
We do the punchline. All right, nowadays, you have a man do the intro, then him do the punchline, then him go back, go do the verse. Them
Straight.
time there's one. The intro, the punchline, the
Everything.
verse, they're on one track. Yes, God. When you hear the verse come in, it's like, whoop. So the boy slide down the gully shack. That not going again. I'm going to tell you, say, me need us to have a different voice. So when you sound around, that's so, whoa, go around, that's you sound so, meow, that was the love of the music, the authenticity.
No, but just the awesomeness of your talent. And I'm
Sure.
here. I'm such a big Beenie Man fan, you know.
All right.
The awesomeness of this man's talent,
All
right?
That's it. Yes, right.
Okay, now I'm getting dramatic warnings about time. So just to remind the versatility of Beenie Man, give us a very brief taste of track 8, which, gotta remind, this dates for just a year after the track we just heard. And since Bobby Digital was named, gotta focus on it.
How wonderful it is. And while I'm falling, sing along. Oh, reggae music, please. Oh, so. Get that jump, make me hear it down. Get that jump, make me one don't roll. Get that jump, make me hear it down. Somebody now make it go back from. Get that jump, make me hear it sound. Them a go do film.
Bob Marley crowns.
I know, right?
Yeah, these were the nice time. These were the nice time. Yeah, This is a music, yo, the dance all nice them time of year, sir. Yeah, no artists not fight against each other. No man not throw no word on each other. And them time, every artist is them own individual. So you have Buju Banton, in my own star by my own self. You have me, you have Bounty Killer, our own star by our own self. And the music did nice them time. Well, them time when they both nowadays, you know, you have to be just nice to yourself. And respect who's supposed to be respected. That's the part. Yeah, man.
Okay, now, I don't want to spoil the party, but I know you all have questions to put to these special guests of ours. Just before we move to the question and answer, just to remind that these artists have both maintained their careers right the way through. They're still contemporary artists doing important work right here, right now. So my selector, give us a bit of track 13 from Nadine Sutherland and track 11 from Beenie Man.
Inna me blood, Marcus Garvey, inna me blood, inna me blood, inna me blood, Bob Marley, inna me blood, inna me blood, inna me blood, Natney go de pum pum, inna me blood, inna me blood. Oh, me a try, me still see Babylon strong, strong. I wonder what went wrong, but I will continue to shout them down like the rest of men. Babylon, your system, still strangling the victims. The anguish cry still rising, so I will continue to chant them down like the rest of men. So if you're wondering where this all came from, it's in my blood, in my blood.
And a bit of track 11, please, from Beenie Man. Track 11 from Beenie Man,
Yeah,
which also came out last year. This is Beenie Man in combination with Itana.
Zaga. Itana. Tell them what go on my road deal.
Yeah.
Zaga.
Working for the dollar, but the dollar ain't working for me. No. Working for the dollar, but the dollar not set me free. No. Working every day just to pay and pay. Bills and collectors where them can't just do it. Hustle me a hustle and I live it straight. Come me want run the world like a lagade. Give me the touch, but so far when I quit on them straight. Make them dirty politician must say we not play. Give me the touch, like them up like Independence Day. Cause no matter how we talk, them not change. Come on me is the motive. They make it so we can't live.
Jugglers production.
Yeah. Okay, so we've reached the point where we've got time for some question and answer, where you, the audience, can put, okay, we have a question over here, a question over there. I think there's one this side and somebody in the back.
Hello, my question is for Nadine. We just heard in Any Blood that you made with my professor.
Yes.
Who you're going to be playing soon. How did you meet with my professor and how was it to work with my professor?
How I got to work with my professor?
Yes.
Okay. Technology is a wonderful thing. I was writing my thesis. I just completed my master's in cultural study at the University of the West Indies. So I was writing my thesis, and my supervisor threw it back, like the December, he literally threw it back in my face and was like, it is undone. So here am I just like wondering what life is going on. I was like, I can't perform because I'm just stuck in school. My professor wrote me on Facebook and said, I want to write with you. Initially, I said, I wonder if really is a flux. Because I said, why mad professor? So I was like, why? You know, it's just like you think about mad professor and it's this big name. I was like, write me on Facebook. So initially I went and said, my professor write me, and I wrote him back because I wanted to make sure somebody just write you on Facebook. You wonder if it's a kook or a mook or a skook, right? It was him. He gave me his number. I spoke to him. He said, I'm sending you some tracks. He sent the tracks. The funniest thing with In My Blood was the first track. And I was spending time with this friend of mine, and it was at the time when there were a lot of African Americans who were being killed. Remember that time, Black Lives Matters, and I was angry. Yeah. I was angry against Jamaica. I was like, ghetto youth still a suffer. I was just you know, it's a cultural study, so we delve deep into Black history of my country. And then a lot of things were on, I was raw, really, really emotionally raw to see my people who came from slavery and were still suffering and still the political stuff. Everything just was not that you thought that we progressed from and how people moved us away. To me, Babylon was the same way. So when the song came, it was just automatically in my blood, Bob Marley, in my blood. That's how I was feeling. I was angry. And I was like, if you listen to the lyrics, all we are trying, we still see Babylon strong, strong. I wonder what went wrong. And I will continue to chant them down like a Rastaman. So I wrote the song. I went in the studio and I actually looked at him and I said, this is going to be a big song. It's a great song. And he said, okay. He was just meeting me. He probably thought I was a little cray-cray. Because I mean, what artists come to immediately and it's like, I have the song. And I was really serious. And I was like, gangsta pan prof. And I was like, go ahead. Kind of have this guy in his accent. Okay, go ahead and do it. So I went in there and I was like, in my blood, Marcus Garvey, and I was really like, me, I try. And all my anger was, me still see Babylon strong, strong. I wonder what, and I was dancing like this, you know, like those real warrior. That's how I recorded the song. I wonder what went wrong, but I will cut. And that was a song. That's how it came about.
Thank you for that question. Okay. I know there's a question at the back. There's a question, and there's a lot of questions. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. First thing we think from Antigua, the second home.
Blessings.
Yeah. So, you're going to touch the summer bombs tonight, since you're on the coast of Spain. The summer song.
Are you talking to me?
Well, yes.
Sorry, yeah, what's the question?
You talk to I?
Yes.
Beenie.
Oh, Rasta, yes, God. Yes. I gotta sing some, I gotta sing a summer song.
Yes, so greetings from your second place, Antigua, yeah? Respect.
Yes, man. Blessings, man. Respect and
bless.
love. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, we're going to do that.
Can't wait to see Beenie tonight.
Greetings.
Blessings, man.
Greetings, Beenie Man. Greetings, Nadine Sutherland.
Respect, man.
My name is Mark Simpson from an organization called Black History Studies from the UK. I've been following you guys forever. The question to both of you is, Beenie, who is your biggest inspiration in terms of DJ? What made you the DJ that you are? And Nadine, with you, who's the singer that made you what you are? Because we all have to look up to somebody in our music, yeah?
Okay, you want me to answer that right now?
Please, sir, yes.
Okay. My biggest inspiration in music was Jimmy Cliff, because he made me start the music, and the man who made me start DJ is General Trees. Yeah, blessings.
When I was growing up, I had 3 beautiful, gorgeous women to look up to, the I3. So I would be like listening to Bob Marley album because my father's a Rastafari, and I would be like, we're jamming, and I'm doing jamming up in the background. Let me try a little to think about which song. Exit one of those that with the I3, and would be doing the I3 skank, and then Master Griffiths when I was younger and I started performing, I used to sing. When you're in love, it's a lovely life. When someone asks you to be his wife. I would be singing that song all over. I would say, even though it's Marcia. I had moments of different inspiration. The I3 Marcia Griffiths, there was a moment that I was into R&B. You could hear it in my music. Whitney Houston was my girl. But as life go on, and singers come that inspire, singers change, the foundation always remain the I3 and Marcia Griffiths.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello. Am I here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, speak up a little bit.
I'm real loud right now. Can you hear me now? Okay. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to enlighten us with your backgrounds. Because I think sometimes we see you guys as stars, and we think you just descended from the earth and you're a star. Yeah. And we have no idea sometimes the struggle and the, tribulations you've been through. Yeah. So I have a question for both of you. both of you have collaborated with amazing artists of different genres, some of you. So can either of you tell us, or share with us if you can you think of an artist, or maybe when they brought the idea to you, you're like, what? And you may have been a little bit hesitant to think whether it would be successful, but it's been a nice surprise.
I got a few of those.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, I got a few of those. Like, somebody sent a song, come give me with an artist named TIP, is it? I don't know who TIP was, but he was rapping some real hardcore stuff. So, you know me, I said, why am I going to do on this? Because them said me supposed to sing a hook for a hip-hop song. Now, come on, I'm a dancehall DJ, sing world dance, and, you know, I don't know if I get to sing a hip-hop song. So, I just go hardcore on it. This bad man, you get shot any day. Bad man, don't take back shot. No way. They send back and say, yo, we love this. This is what we want. So sometimes you try something and it just happens and it hit. I have a next one. Which one? Me and Neptunes was trying to find a song to release. So we make like 6 beats. We can't find a song. So we just decided to remake 2 songs. Girls Them Sugar and Sim Sim at one time. So Pharrell goes, Sim Simmer. And me say, Beenie Man and the girls them sugar, Sim Simmer, the girls them, and it worked. And then you just get Maya to sing something and it was beautiful.
That was
so
a great
sometimes
song.
You're not gonna know if it's gonna happen, but when the song actually come together and you listen and the mix finish, then you know this is a hit. So yeah, I got a few of those. Bless you.
I can't say any of the DJs that I've worked with that, you know, because all of them, I love dancehall from a long time, and I was listening to them from a long time. No, interestingly enough, I think the most colorful and the one that, and I'm sure Beenie can attest to the most, the character of it all was Buju Banton. Like when I was doing the video for What I'm Gonna Do If You Break My Heart, when we had our roles together, Buju come to me and go, secretly, before we started filming, Nadine, I saw some Clark Gable and Eva Gabor scene we're gonna right now. What look like we love each other. So, people don't know Buju, but Buju is a Clark Gable. Like, look at me, and I'm like wanting to just die laughing, because and the director say, start, and I'm there looking at him and I'm trying to look cute, but I was dying because Buju serious as some Clark Gable business.
Well, on that note, just to remind, tomorrow, don't miss the screening of Agadez, which will take place in this tent, 3:45 p.m. And at the finish of that film, 5 p.m., we'll have the special guest, Bombino, with us to do a very brief question and answer. And then directly after that, 5:15 p.m., we'll be back here with members of the Whalers recounting their travels in Africa. And John Missouri will also be joining us for that session. So, one more time, please put your hands together and give a very warm special thanks to our guests, Nadine Sutherland and Beenie Man.
And hello, don't forget that I perform tonight.
On the main stage in the early hours.